Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Definitely appreciate the support. This will be the Detroit Lions playbook, and I gotta say, I was very surprised with the playbook. Easily one of my favorite playbooks of the game. So, if I would have started all over in regards to picking a playbook and building a scheme out of, it would definitely, this would be one of the books. This game, I was down 32 to like 8 in the fourth quarter. So, right away, RPO Zone Peek, you guys have seen me gone over this before, but I just can't help but to throw this play into the gauntlet. This is just such a great play. There's just so many different things you can do with it. And if you pre-snap read, then you know who to throw to based upon what the second defender in does. If they're in cover 2 zone, let's say you got safety here, corner slightly outside, and then your second defender in would maybe be a backer here, right? No matter what, you're really going to read this player, okay? And if it's cover 2 zone, because we know pre-snap reading, right? At the snap of the ball, if he steps in at all, then who would you throw to, the flat or the slant? Well, you would throw the slant, right? Just horrible colors, right? It's because the corner is playing outside leverage, trying to funnel him to the inside, so he's giving away the inside, right? And his help, the corner, with him going to the slant, you would hope it would be the backer. But if we draw him in with the action here, well, now this window is just wide open for the slant. On the flip side of that, if it's single high, and that second defender in is the backer, well, now if we snap the ball and he steps in, well, who do we throw to this time? Well, now we throw the flat, right? Because if they're in cover 1 man, he's going to run with the slant, and you're supposed to be running with the flat, but you're stuck in there, so now we throw the flat. If it's cover 3 zone, he's still going to be bailing. You're supposed to be the flat defender, and now we get to the flat. So no matter what, you see how it kind of, who you throw to on this action depends on the coverage, and obviously we're reading that second defender in. So I just love this play. I guarantee you when you guys play games, you're really never going to see someone running this and then throwing the slant, because you have to know pre-snap reading, knowing that it's cover 2 and reading the backer. And when you do it in the game, you feel pretty good, right? So here's another RPO zone alert screen we got. I like this because if you have off coverage at all, then he'll just turn us up into a hitch, right? And then we got this screen action over here. So, I think I'm just going to play straight through with this video because this may be a pretty long video. This was a grueling game. We're going to see. I was down 32 to 8 in the fourth quarter. So right away we see 2-man. So I'm like, you know what? I don't remember what I did. I should have stuck with the run. And I did, right? Soft box, we run the ball. I actually cut back unnecessarily, but I did. And we get 7 yards, and we see that he's in quarters or dime personnel running 2-man, right? So anyways, I'm going through the playbook, seeing a lot of good stuff just in the spread book alone, right? Spot smash, we got shark HB wheel with the shallow cross deal. A lot of good stuff in this playbook. I went to tight Y off weak. Obviously, we don't like split zone. But then, okay, so I remember what I was doing. So when I saw him playing 2-man, I'm like, hey, you know what? I could attack the same concept that I made a video out. I made a video that I took down, you guys. I'm going to tell you the reason why I took the video down is because the whole point of the video was to show you another way to attack 2-man by putting a linebacker in the conflict with the play action. And it was something I was watching with Peyton Manning, and it just blew my mind. Just little things like that. He threw a touchdown, 80-yard touchdown, the first play of the game against the Dolphins in 2009. And I looked at it and I saw what was going on. He put a linebacker in a conflict who was matched up man-to-man on the tight end. So I'm like, hey, he's playing 2-man. I want to try this concept again. And the reason why I took it down is because on the practice field in the video, I accidentally had it on rookie mode and not all Madden. So I got to go back and redo it all, but I might just drop it anyways. Pretty sure you guys will appreciate the content. So anyways, look, I see 2-man, right? And I guess this will be a spoiler for that whole video. Whoever's man-to-man on the tight end, we want it to be a backer, right? Well, if he's man to man and we snap the ball and it's a play action, he's put in the conflict. And the reason why that is because he's responsible for a run gap. Okay? Is it a run? Is it not a run? If it's not a run, he's got to run and defend this person, right? Well, the slight hesitation of him sitting flat, trying to defend the gap, our tight end will blow right by him, and this is where we can get in the field where we get these deep half safeties to widen even further. So now we get a really big play potential down the middle of the field. That's what Peyton Manning did with Dallas Clark, first play of the game against the Dolphins. So this is what I was trying to do. I don't like that he moved him closer in. We would much rather have him out there, but I mean that's the whole point of this right here. You know, we're really stretching the safety here, and I kind of got a little stuck on this because this is here. I mean, oh wow, I totally missed this, right? So him, like I just said, him moving him inside, we don't care, right? So I was wrong. I would much rather, it really shouldn't matter, right? Because if we're sending two into his area anyways, you just decide to play further inside, well now we have this. And the reason why we're unafraid of the underneath defenders is because they're playing underneath trail and they're playing to their help, right? So he's over the top of him. I should have thrown that. But I was just so fixed on, hey, I get to run the play that, the concept that I saw Manning attack two-man with, right? So I put too much air on the ball, and we get a big hit there, so 3rd and 3. I think I got to just go ahead and let this roll because this, I don't want, I say it all the time, but. So now I'm still looking for more. I want some more PA stuff against this two-man because I just like trying out new concepts. And that's how you kind of develop just an arsenal of different ways to attack different things. And when I see this, now I know it's cover 0, right? So it spoiled my plans, and I don't like the play that I have for cover 0. And I'm telling you right now, I did not want to. Usually I check into a 5-man route knowing that someone's going to come free and looking to throw quick, but I did not like this play because my receiver is on the LOS. This is very big if you guys don't know this. If your wide receiver is on the LOS and they're playing press, it's going to be harder for him to beat the jam. If he's off the LOS, it's just so much easier for him to win inside. So right away, I did not like this with him being off. And I didn't want to turn him into a slant because there's just too much traffic over here. I like to throw the slant on the backside. So I'm like, you know what? You're just going to have to win, man. You're just going to have to win, and someone's going to be coming scot-free here. But the ball's got to come out, right? So ball's out. He barely wins inside. And my running back was wide open, but I didn't see it. Because, again, this is like the first drive of the game. I didn't know that my opponent was just bringing everybody and not really accounting for the back. There's no way you can account for that in real life. So now I check into a different play, and I'm like, let me audible to something to where we get stacked receivers because I see what he's trying to do. He's just trying to jam and hold everyone up at the LOS. So I check into a stack formation, and I don't like the slant coming from the guy on the LOS, right? So this is where we change it up a bit. First of all, I want 5 out into routes. So I brought the back out. Now you may ask, why do I do that? I don't want to keep the back in the block. Okay, if you do that, it's really because you want deeper routes. But we have a quick game. We don't really want him into block because whoever's in to defend against the back, when he sees that, well, now he's going to muddy up the reads in the middle of the field where we are trying to throw, right? You don't always want to pass protect against the blitz. You got to learn how to throw hot, right? That's how you get a lot better at attacking defenses. So this was the route combination I came up with. I want you to go upfield, and we hopefully get a nice little rub and go inside. The ball's going to come out really quickly. I set the mic there. I don't think it really mattered due to the front. Oh man, please forgive me. I forgot the guy, KB. Is this 5-0 or base? I always mix it up. So yeah, I was right. Once you get this down, you'll know, all right, I know that if both of these guys, if one of these guys come, with these guys come, and this is the free rusher, and look how ball's out, and just like that, we get a first down. So we'll just move this along. This is where I was just playing around with the playbook. It's a lot of good stuff in this playbook, man. You know, but that's the thing. When you're in the playbook, whenever you play against a guy who's just cover zero happy, he kind of dictates what you have to do. It's not like you can run stuff like this, right? That's one of the benefits of cover zero. It forces the offense to kind of condense what they try to do against you. So here I'm like, all right, he's finally going to get out of cover zero. He's got to. And then, because this is something you don't want to run against cover zero, right? And I'm like, wow, he's still playing cover zero, so I got to check out. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go P8 X burst cross. And I still don't like this against cover zero. Play action pass protection in this game is horrible, right? So I'm like, how can I make this work? You know what? I'm just going to do 9-man protection. And that's okay with this play because no matter what, you're one-on-one. No one can help you, right? So I need max protection. Snap. Play action. It's there. You throw the ball. And I'm not used to the quarterback. So that's the problem with me playing these games with these teams. It's just different with the quarterbacks. You know, I guarantee you that throw I make with Joe Burrow, it lands every time. Because I'm just so used to him and how much to lead. I think it's just a little bit different with different quarterbacks, especially if their accuracy is horrible as well, right? You kind of learn how to play with your quarterback, I think. So I'm like, this guy keeps playing 2-man heavy, press to LOS. So let me get into bunch stuff. So we're going to get jet pull shallow. I'm like, hey, let me check this out. I like how we kind of get the switch release going here. And this may help us against 2-man or constantly trying to jam at the LOS. And watch what happens. First of all, we're going to get into a problem because, again, I'm not used to this playbook. This is where you build a scheme and then you tailor the scheme to make more sense, okay? I don't like this check release with this, and you'll see why. But watch how this guy gets a free release despite them jamming. And this is the whole benefit of bunch, right? Watch what happens. I mean, he gets right in there. You see that? And both of these guys are running into each other. That's the benefit of stack, sets, and bunch. If you're all going to play at the same level and we run routes where we cross, well, now you guys can get picked off just like that, right? So he's wide open. I throw it to him, and what do you know? The guy who's man-to-man on the back, check releasing, is right in the way, is going to make a tackle, right? So what I would do with this play is I would kind of get rid of this back. I would probably motion him out and play from an empty set and have the back run like an out with the fade so we get the Ohio concept on this side of the field. That way, in this particular scenario, this guy would probably be way out there, right? So we can catch the ball and take it upfield. So that's a bummer. We get to 4th down. I guess I wanted to show this again. I don't think it's necessary, but I'll do it. You can see he gets wide open. So I mean that's why it's so important to kind of have routes that make sense, and you don't want guys to be running routes in the same area, right? That's why you really don't see a lot of corner stuff. I've been hearing about that lately, and I'm wondering, like, why would you ever want to do that, right? I just think some route combinations just kind of like don't make sense. So I know this is some type of 2-man, and then it looks like he checks out. So I'm like, you know what? Let me look at this nice stuff we got going here. Switch release, kind of cross, and then you're gonna flip out, right? I think he kind of moved them off so they wouldn't jam. No, they were still jamming, I think. And look how we kind of get that nice little rub there. Go over the top. A nice game. So I'm like, man, I'm really feeling this playbook, man, especially their bunch stuff. Obviously Z spot, obviously dagger. Spacing is a great one. You know, if I wanted to, I think I can be really, really good with bunch, but I'm just so used to playing spread all the time. What do you guys say? Hey, man, you got to step out of your comfort zone, and you're right, you know. And in this video, we're going to run into a play that I have never ran before, and I just love it, you know. So, I appreciate the fact that you kind of mentioned that so I can kind of run stuff that I don't usually run. So here we run a play action. I saw that one-on-one again and again. I mean, that's there, right there. I mean, I'm just not used to the quarterback. But in a play like that, I'm still satisfied because I went where I was supposed to go, right? And that's where you want to be. You can work on mechanics and all that with the how hard you press or how much you lead and all that, but when you review your play, you want to make sure that you're actually making the right decision. If you make the right decision but you made a bad throw, that's not a big deal because the bad throw you can fix, right? So, anyways, I knew this was cover 0, and I'm like, you know what? I picked a play action play, and I didn't want to check into a quick passing game. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have him go on a slant, your outside leverage. And if you're wondering, well, wouldn't that mess up the timing with the play action? Well, you can cancel the play action footwork, and it looks really sweet when you do it. You'll see me turn and then cancel it, and I'll whip right around, ready to throw the slant. But I'll throw an interception here. Cancel, look how I cancel, ready to throw, wide open into the window. And of course, the guy who's one-on-one with the back, right? He's one-on-one with the back. He did not bite at all on the action. To me, that's kind of unrealistic, but it is what it is. And he just snags it right out of there. So that's a bummer. I'm like, oh, great, you know. So, you know, interception, whatever. So my opponent, he, you know, now we're getting a feel for what he likes to do, and he lived in this I formation. So, you know, this is where you kind of develop a feel for what your opponent likes to do. And I noticed whenever I showed single high, he just whipped it to the outside, or he would run a inside breaking route with the tight end. Okay, so he just continued to run. We got to kind of speed this up because this may be a long video, and he scored. So it's 7-0. And I don't remember what happened. So here I knew it was man-to-man again. And I dialed up that whip route from the stack set. We get a nice big gain. And then we'll move on. So I had a feeling this guy's going to stay in two-man quarters personnel the whole game. He's going to be kind of, you know, I don't want to say corny because it's just so easy to defeat. You know, I could just run it, right? But I wanted to throw the ball, right? So I dial up the slant, and it looks like he was in like cover 2. So I just hung in there and I threw over on our deep out. You know, I would like to go over every single play, but you know, I need to refrain from doing that. Oh, check out this play, guys. This is where I knew, you know, this game isn't meant to be. 2nd and goal, 11 seconds left to go in the second quarter. I didn't know that with this action, they really don't. They just allow the guy to go free up the A-gap. So now I'm flying out of there. I try to throw the ball, and it just wouldn't let me do it. And then you see my guy just like wants to enjoy the scenery, doesn't do anything. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. I was furious when that happened. I was like, I just can't. It's just demoralizing, right? From 11 seconds to go in the second quarter, thinking you're going to tie it. Now you're down 14-0, and he gets the ball first. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to lose this game. Show single high, and this is what he was doing with the tight end, right? Throwing that little post with Andrews with the play action. So he had a really nice I formation game. And this is what I noticed. He kept throwing these little out patterns on the outside. And this is where you kind of marry the concepts that you're running, and you kind of put yourself in the mindset of your opponent. My opponent sees single high. He doesn't know what we're running. So when he sees single high, he likes to audible to that play to where they're running just outs on the outside. And that's a good route to run because you're one-on-one on the outside with no help, right? Now, this is not sound defense. I think I accidentally put him in R flat. So I wanted to account for that over the top. But, of course, Andrews on the outside, on the corner. So, you know, red zone defense did really good. Got him to 4th and goal. And a lot of times, guys like to hot route to audible to this. They're running like the dragon concept slant with the flat. So I chose the corner and I played hard inside, expecting that. Look how I'm inside. Right, so I'm just hanging inside, waiting for him, and now he throws to the flat, and I'm hoping that my defender will rally to it. And right here, how it's saying press X, I wasn't doing it. I wasn't doing it at all because I was afraid an animation would happen to where he would kind of roll into the end zone. So I just held him to where I didn't press anything so my guys could rally. This is the play right here, guys. This play is just disturbing. Like, it's so good. It is so good. And I don't really run plays like this. This play is beautiful. Okay, you're going to see it save me so many times in this game because I was playing around with it and I'm like, all right, it's beautiful. Anyways, down 14-0, and right here I see cover 0. So my plan was, okay, hey, I want to throw this deep post. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the tight end over here and block him because I was assuming that this guy was on the back and one of the second level defenders was on the tight end, right? So then whoever's on the tight end would be forced to block. This guy would run with the flat and you'd be one-on-one deep down the middle of the field, one-on-one, right? So that was my plan. And I'm like, I didn't mind the press animation here because you're off the LOS. So I'm like, all right, hey, let's get it, right? So I don't care if I'm on the one, I can still run the play. So I move him over, I press triangle and X to get him to, and then right there it snaps the ball. I don't know what's been going on with the lag in the game. Now, if you don't believe me, no. Why would I leave this guy? I don't even know what his route was. It wouldn't even make no sense for me to keep him in that route. I wanted to block him. And for whatever reason, I missed a button, and I pressed X, and now it snaps the ball. So now I'm panicking because I'm like, where do I go? You know, so I'm like, let me just throw the flat, right? The worst possible decision because this guy's wide open. Right, I remember Kurt Warner said Peyton Manning, as great as he was pre-snap, if you surprised him post-snap, he wasn't nowhere near as good, right? He just wasn't good at situations to where you kind of got to think on the fly. He was so prepared that he would never get caught, you know, with his pants down, so to speak. But the very few times that he did, he struggled, right? On the flip side of that, Kurt Warner was very good at stuff like that. Well, as you can see, I'm horrible with that. When I snap the ball and I'm panicking, I don't even know, I can't think, right? So I just threw to the flat, and now I'm down 16-0. So I'm like, wow. So this is my idea. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to show single high, but we're actually going to be playing cover 2. So now we present to you the same look, and now you're going to look to attack outside in the flats, and hopefully we can trap you and get interceptions. But I went to the play cover 2 invert from that particular defensive set, and I didn't like it because they had the flat players from the backers. So then he gets me on the seam pattern, and now I'm down 24-0. So I'm like, wow, it's not good, and it's third quarter. So here we snap the ball, looks like cover 2, and this is the benefit of this play. It's just so many good things where we get a nice little rub action. So whenever we get 2-man with this reduced split, I see what they're trying to accomplish here. We're trying to get kind of like a rub here with these guys because they're on the same level, right? And then if any one of them kind of gets caught, now we are stretching this safety, right? Because now we got somebody attacking across face, and then we have someone attacking this area, right? So if he midpoints, then we kind of decide where we want to go. And then the benefit of this too is this deep half safety is forced to widen with the corner here. So we leave the space open for the post if this guy decides to overplay the little wheel. So look at that. You see how his defender runs right into the guy? Right, so I'm just taking my time and right over the top. That play is just money. All right, so then we finally get into the end zone. I believe I scored 2. So now I'm like, you know what? Let me go nickel 2-4 cover 2 invert, so we at least get a flat from the corner, so we can try to trap this guy into making a bad throw. Right. So I'm like, I'm gonna show single high. He's gonna throw that out pattern. I got him. Right. Snap the ball, and this is where I'm like, where is my middle read player? So let's take a look at my middle read. We can see what happens, right? You should be carrying this guy. And you see that? You see how, I don't understand this game, guys. Like, if he's gonna bite on the play action, why would he bite after the quarterback is turned around, right? It's like he waited till the quarterback to turn around to run down. So if that's a ratings thing to where he has bad awareness, that's fine, but have it to where he actually, the animation comes during the play action fake, not after he's whipped and turned around, right? It just makes no sense. Okay, it's just so many bad things with the game, but I'll leave it at that. So I'm like, you know what? I can't play the safety. I'm going to play the backer myself. Okay, so I didn't know that that's what happened. I only saw it until after I replayed it later on when I tried to record or putting the clips together, and I saw that. I'm like, oh, wow, that's what happened on that play. But knowing that he was supposed to be there and not knowing what happened, I'm like, let me pick this guy because I don't know what he's doing, right? So, you know, you'll get into that when you know the defense and you know where someone's supposed to be and he wasn't, you'll know, hey, let me pick that guy so I can actually play the concept the way it's supposed to play. So we're showing the single high look. We're hoping that he does exactly what he just did, right? He thinks single high, bailing, so this should be an easy throw to the outside. However, this corner does not have to bail. He's playing into the flat. He can actually sit flat and drive on balls thrown to the flat, knowing that a safety's over the top. That's one of the benefits of 2 invert. But the wide receiver still beats him to the outside, and I was pissed. So this is where I started fumbling with turning him into like a hard flat, soft squat, because I just didn't like how it didn't pan out the way I wanted to. So here I'm like, all right, I got him. I got inside leverage. He just waited till the back flared out. So I'm like, nothing's going my way. And this guy's driving. He's up 24-8. It's about to be the 4th quarter. It's just not looking good. Snapped the ball. He did not want to throw this. Now he wants to throw to that inside route where we are and we're cushioning. We have the deep half safety. Surely we're going to get an interception. And Mr. Andrews catches the ball at the highest point. So this was just not my, you know, I hate it when you feel like you lose against somebody that you just know that if you play it like 100 times you would win. And this was just disrespectful. This is just, I was like, wow, this is just so disrespectful. All right, you're up 32-8. This guy thinks I'm a bum. That's what I was thinking. This guy thinks I'm garbage. Right? I can't believe this. That's the thing. Just a number of things don't go your way. You can find yourself down 32-8 just like that. So anyways, I check into this play. Again, it looks like cover 0. So this is my plan. Remember the plan? So this should prove earlier I did not want to snap the ball like this. I wanted him to block. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to throw an interception anyways. I was thinking this guy was man-to-man in the back. So when we snap the ball, he would run with the back. Little did I know, this pressure package that he has, he's actually man-to-man on the tight end. So with him motioning him over here, and him not moving this way, I had no idea. I'm like, there's no way you're man-to-man on the tight end. But he is. So when the tight end blocks, well, now he can play deep half and double my post. So I played horribly, to tell you the truth. Because during this play, my eyes were in the backfield too. So I'm like, all right, please pick everyone pick them up. And I don't do this. Because I'm just waiting for the post. All right, good, I've waited long enough. Now I can throw my post. And when I threw it, I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Interception. So, I mean, good pass protection, but I wasn't looking downfield. And that's why it's important to kind of know the passing scheme, the passing blocking scheme, so you don't have to look in the backfield. I'm just not used to playing from condensed sets like that. And then I didn't know the blitz that he was running. Usually when you get to see it, I know who's defending who and etc. But the play that happened earlier when he ran it, we had a safety, so I wasn't able to see it. So I'm like, all right, I got him. Right? There's just no way. I got it, right? Nope. So, you know, of course, at this point in the game, I'm like, rest assured, I lost. You know, that's the way I'm thinking. There's just no way. And then he throws that. So it finally works, right? I think I had him in hard flat. We see the benefits of when your opponent is throwing a concept because he sees single high and he's attacking the weakness of single high. Okay, so I replayed it, right? This looks like single high. Well, let me turn him to that routes we have like this, right? But we see my guy is sitting flat, and that's because he's not at outer third corner. He's in the flat with us playing over the top. I've been loving playing a lot of 2 invert. We get an interception, we get a defensive touchdown, I believe. So now we're down 16. We got to get a 2-point conversion. And this gun spacing play here is beautiful here in the red zone. I'll go over my thinking on this really quickly. So I'm like, hey, I got to score, and then I got to score again and get a 2-point conversion, and then I got to score again and get a 2-point conversion. So at this point, I'm like, I'm not going to win. But anyways, here's the play. So my plan here was really, he dictates where I'm going with the ball. If he steps in at all, I'm throwing a slant 100%. I don't care how good you cover it, you just have to win, right? But if he plays outside into the slant, well, now I'm working our spacing concept because we should have somewhat of a numbers advantage with that. So we're looking at that backer. That's good for us. And then also that corner looks like he's outside. And right there, when I see this, I'm like, I'm throwing a slant. Right? He's playing with outside leverage. I mean, this is just kind of like easy money right there. So, back at it, trying to make something happen. This is another benefit to cover 2 invert, right? We got like a numbers advantage in the box with a defense that traditionally doesn't, right? In traditional cover 2, we would only have the 7 in the box. But now with this guy coming down and we're inverting cover 2, disguising it to look like cover 3, we actually kind of get 8 in the box. Actually 9 if you count the corner with if he's a force player with the run to that side. Thinking on it now. So look how good it is that, I mean, the run is just not really available. At least the inside zone run he was rolling with. So he was just trying to run out the clock, 2 straight runs. I'm like, all right, we're in good shape. We just need to get the ball back. Play action fake, and I'm like, oh, that's one of the problems of a zone that doesn't match. You just high load the corner. I had him in hard flat underneath, and he's able to throw the corner. So this is where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to play this defense and man up the tight end with the player inside. I don't think I was doing it here. So he's still running it, but look how we do a really good job with 2 invert on inside zone. So he gets that throw again, and it's really pissing me off, but he's doing a really good job on that throw when we're in cloud flat. And I thought that really pissed me off too. Because I'm like, you're in prime position, drive on the ball. He just has a really good player at tight end. Here, this is where we finally get an interception, right? So I manned him up on the tight end on the outside because I didn't want a cloud flat or a hard flat to drive down and then he's just open on the corner. So I wanted somebody to be manned up with the tight end so we don't get high load on the flat. He ran the post, and of course I'm in the middle read running up the inside. So we almost bracketed the tight end there with the cover 2 invert. So now this is where I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be going through the playbook. I'm trying to actually score here. So I'm just going to go with what I ran before, and let's see what we can do with this play. And what do you know? He's in 2-man again. And I think this was probably the most beautiful play of the game, where you kind of, like, we get to see the concept of this play and why it's so good, right? So I think he's in two-man. And you're going to see this guy has to widen with the corner, right? So he's out of there. This area of the field is wide open. And then we are stretching this safety with the wheel and the deep post. So you're going to see me hold it, and with my guy crossing face, we just go deep on him. And it really just has to win inside on his man. And right there, he does. He gets inside, so that's a good sign. And he gets a rub too. So this guy's open. Both of our guys are open. But I decided to be patient, I believe, here. And look how we just bombed this guy for a big play touchdown. That play is just money. I mean, I've fallen in love with this. It's just excellent against double high, right? Two-man, cover two zone. See how would it play against cover four? Yeah, I don't, in Madden, I think, because the quarter flat, would he take the wheel? Then the 3-rec would have to take the flat. He would be out leveraged. I don't know. I would have to check it, because Madden is just kind of weird. I know the quarter flat supposed to buy that. This is where I think you would get, I don't know. I would have to check it out in Madden. It's kind of weird. And then you got to think, how do they have it coded with the reduced split? But this is a play I would love to run against just double high. The play that the wide receiver drags. So anyways, same ordeal. I'm looking at this guy. He's going to tell me where to go with the ball. And when he steps it, this now my eyes are already over here. Right? 1, no, 2. Get it in there. I'm like, wow, I'm down by 1 possession. Like we were down 32-8, I think, in the 4th. And then that happens. And I'm like, wow, we're going to get the ball. And we don't. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm destined to lose. And then I believe this happens. I think it happens right here. He's been playing I formation the whole game. We've been playing 2 invert because we've been trying to fool him into throwing into the weakness of cover 3, despite us being in actually like a cover 2 and like the flats. And now for the first time in the game, he goes gun spread. So what do I love to play against spread? Cover 2 match. So I go cover 2. You guys should know what cover 2 match is. We're going to man up the back. And against spread like this, I like to shift the D-line this way and pre-snap play in this position as the middle backer. And then here I added a flare into it in this play. I actually moved this guy further inside as well because I was trying to heavily discourage a run to this side. I wanted him to throw it. Obviously, we want him to throw it. We don't want him to run out the clock. If you don't know what two-man is, two-match, it'll play like cover 2 zone if they run certain routes, but it will morph into two-man based upon the route distribution. So if they were to run something like this, it'll play out like cover 2 zone. But if these guys were to run vertical routes, then our players actually turn and run with them, and it turns them like two-man. Okay? So I made a video on two-match. It's kind of funny because I was on some forum, and I looked up my name, and some guy was like, it doesn't match cover 2 match. That, I guess he called me like he's trying to make it seem like I was an idiot, and it's like, it's kind of funny when guys do that. It's like, dude, did you actually like go check? It actually does. Like, I don't know. Some people are like that, where it's like they kind of don't like when other people say your name, and they kind of want. I don't know. It's just like, because you can see it clearly right here. They're gonna match, right? I don't understand why people like to down other people when they're right. It kind of is what it is. But notice how we turn and they're running with it. Right? So I'm like, please throw it. And he does. He throws it. So this guy's vice. Now remember, we play cover 2 zone. In traditional cover 2 zone, he wouldn't be running with this. But again, when you turn this guy into anything but mid-read, then they will play matching principles on the outside against a spread set like this. Okay, and remember, our job as this player is to relate to the number 3. That's why I'm down here. I'm looking at the number 3, right? So he throws that, and our safety gets the interception. So I'm like, wow, I can actually come back and tie this game. So I'm like, screw that, man. I'm going switch wide receiver drag again. I think I did it again. And lo and behold, he's in 2-man again. So this is just a great play against 2-man. Look, we get a nice little rub again, right? We get the nice little wheel. Outside shoulder. I mean, it's just perfect. Just a perfect throw. It's a perfect throw. I don't remember what I did here. So I went flood. I don't remember what happened. Okay, I went ahead and ran it. Against a soft. Oh my goodness. Just beautiful. So he was in a soft cover 3 with 3 rushing. And they didn't have this guy in the box. So whenever I see like a 2 deep pre-snap shell, and it's soft, I'm like, look, let me run it. And we got a really good run with inside zone. So now I'm like, look, I got to score. I got to get this 2-point conversion. Why not go with what was working? 2 for 2 on that play on 2-point conversions. And we're going to do the same read. You're going to read this player. If he goes inside at all, you have to win. Right? You have to win. It looks like they're playing outside as well. Okay, can't go over there. Right here, my eyes are over here. 1, 2, 3. I like 1, right? I threw it a little late, and we tied again. So I'm like, all right, now we gotta stop him, man. He throws that outside ball again. Against cover 2 invert. That's fine, but you know, notice how he's not in the spread no more. Like he tried it one time in 2-match shut down. Obviously, what did he do? He ran 4 verts. That's what guys do, right? Because 4 verts is so good against a lot of different things in the game. 4 verts is horrible against 2-man. I mean, against cover 2 match, it's horrible. So 2-match is very good to run against spread. It's easily my most used defensive coverage against spread. Runs it. I think we're finally going to get to the end of this game. I believe he makes a mistake. Look how I man up the tight end. Look how that, I mean, it just, I got to go over the run fits with that. But, I mean, 2 invert is just so good in the box against what he was doing with inside zone and stuff. So now I'm like, I can't believe we're actually we might hold him. And when I saw, look, this is another, he stepped away from I formation twice in this game. Once was with spread, so we went 2-match and got an interception. And then he went, all right, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to go gun tight flex. So now I'm going to play what I love to play against gun tight flex. And we're going to get another interception. And it's cover 3 cloud. So definitely go watch my videos on how to defend tight sets. I think I had like a 4-part series on it last year. The concepts are still the same. Usually, I knew before he snapped the ball, he might be running that mesh concept. I see it ran a lot in the game, and it's just never really good when it's ran against me. His cover 3 cloud is just so good at shutting it down. I'm just trying to get in the windows, and he makes the fatal mistake of throwing into an area where we have a defender, and we go ahead and we take it down with 1 second left. Down 32-8, I believe, in the 4th quarter, and we come back and win. That's what he gets for trying to disrespect me with the freaking onside kick. No big deal, you know. I thought it's kind of funny when you think about it, but I like to rub salt in the wound when you think about a guy who obviously thought I was a bum, but we won the game. So I love the playbook, the Lions. I didn't even really get into the other sets in the playbook. the 5 wide stuff. But based upon the limited amount of plays that I utilize in this game, you could easily build a really good scheme with this playbook, especially from the formation with that play I was running. You can be really good against double high. And obviously you would want to build around that and find stuff that decimates cover 3 and cover 1, and slowly but surely you would have a scheme that's provides you a lot of answers against a lot of different coverages. So I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you keep coming back for more, man. Peace.